When India builds, the world watches. And this time, they ain't just watching, they're worried. You can almost feel it, that mix of surprise and respect that comes when a nation that once had to buy its armor now builds a beast of its own. This tank isn't just a metal monster with a big gun on top. It's a symbol, a message to the world that India has arrived and it's not playing around anymore. Every bolt, every circuit, every piece of tech screams self-reliance and innovation. See, the old days of waiting on imports are long gone. This is homegrown power, crafted by Indian engineers who decided they were tired of being customers and ready to become creators. You watch this tank roll out, and it doesn't just move. It glides like it knows who it is. It's got confidence. It's got purpose. It's a reflection of India's new spirit, bold, precise, and unapologetically powerful. Other countries used to underestimate Indian defense tech, but not anymore. Now they're watching radar screens twice, checking their updates, trying to figure out just how India managed to leap this far, this fast. What makes it terrifying isn't just the weaponry, though it's got plenty of that. It's the intent behind it. India's saying, we can defend ourselves. We can design our own future. That kind of confidence shakes people up more than any explosion could. It's not just about protecting borders anymore. It's about projecting belief, pride, and control. And when a nation as massive, as resourceful, and as determined as India starts believing in its own innovation, you better believe the rest of the world starts paying attention. Because this tank is more than steel. It's a rolling declaration that India doesn't just belong at the table. It built its own table, rolled it onto the battlefield, and dared anyone to move it. Now, this ain't your granddaddy's battle tank. This thing thinks before it shoots. We're talking about a machine so advanced, it's like putting a brain inside a beast. This isn't just heavy armor with firepower, it's artificial intelligence in motion. The tank scans, calculates, predicts, almost like it's reading the battlefield's mind. It knows where to move, when to fire, and how to stay invisible when it needs to. It's got sensors sharper than any human eye, and a response time faster than a thought. You blink, and it's already made a decision that could change the outcome of a fight. That's not just technology. That's transformation. Imagine a machine that doesn't panic, doesn't hesitate, doesn't miss. This next-gen Indian tank is built with systems that can process data from drones, satellites, and command centers all at once, and still find its own way home. It's like Iron Man's suit decided to quit saving cities and start guarding borders. The AI on board doesn't just execute commands, it learns. Every mission, every move, every environment makes it smarter, tougher, and deadlier. But here's the real deal. It's not about replacing soldiers, it's about empowering them. This tank gives India's army an edge that's both intelligent and instinctive. It reduces risk, multiplies precision, and increases the confidence of every crew that operates it. It's a guardian that doesn't sleep and doesn't flinch. And when you mix that kind of technology with the courage and discipline of Indian soldiers, you get a force that's near unstoppable. This machine is proof that modern warfare isn't just about muscle, it's about mind. It's the perfect example of how India is turning science fiction into national strength. You can't intimidate a tank that can think. And when it rolls, it doesn't just crush obstacles, it outsmarts them. India didn't come to play with old tech. They came to rewrite the rules of warfare. For decades, battlefields were dominated by imported designs and borrowed blueprints, but that era is fading fast. This new generation of Indian engineering is tearing up the old playbook and replacing it with something bold, original, and unmistakably Indian. Every part of this next gen tank reflects a mindset shift from dependence to dominance. Indigenous armor that can take a hit and keep rolling, stealth systems that confuse the enemy before the first shot is fired, and laser targeting precision that ensures every strike lands where it's meant to. This isn't about catching up anymore. It's about setting the pace. When you look at this tank, you're seeing more than machinery. You're seeing India's creative power, turned into a defense revolution. The engineers behind it didn't just follow instructions. They reimagined what a tank could be in the 21st century. They took lessons from the past, paired them with cutting-edge technology, and created something that doesn't just perform, it intimidates. This tank moves silently but speaks volumes about how far Indian innovation has come. And let's be real, when you innovate like this, you change more than hardware, you change confidence. India isn't just preparing for modern warfare, it's shaping the definition of it. The nation that once had to prove its capabilities now stands as proof itself. A country that builds world-class defense tech with its own hands, heart, and brain power. This next-gen tank is a declaration that India's defense is no longer about following trends. It's about starting them. It's power wrapped in precision, courage wrapped in code. The rules of the game have officially been rewritten, and India's holding the pen. When that kind of ambition meets engineering, the result isn't just a weapon, it's history on tracks. See, when a country invests in brains and bravery, that's a dangerous combo. You can buy machines, you can buy equipment, but you can't buy the spirit and smarts that build something like this. India's next-gen tank is the perfect mix of courage and creativity. A weapon born from minds that think beyond limits and hearts that refuse to back down. Behind this steel giant are young engineers who dreamed big, scientists who dared to experiment, and soldiers who trusted those dreams enough to drive them into reality. That's what makes it so powerful. It's built on belief as much as it's built on metal. You've got teams that spent years designing every system to perfection, testing it in deserts, mountains, and even digital simulations. Every detail was shaped by the question, how can we protect our soldiers better? That kind of purpose gives innovation real strength. This isn't some off-the-shelf product. It's a creation powered by national pride and deep responsibility. India's defense tech has always had brave hands behind the trigger, but now it's got brilliant minds behind the design too. That's when technology becomes unstoppable. When intellect meets instinct, what's truly inspiring is how this tank symbolizes a generation of Indians who see engineering as service. They're not just coding or calculating, they're safeguarding a billion dreams. Each chip, each line of code, each bolt carries that energy. And when the brave men and women of the Indian Army operate a machine that was built by their own people, that's a level of trust no imported weapon can ever deliver. Brains and bravery, that's the secret. It's the combination that changes nations, that turns defense into destiny. Because when you fuse genius with grit, you don't just make weapons, you make history. And right now, India's writing that history in steel, speed, and sheer confidence. You know it's serious when global powers start whispering, wait, they built what? That's the sound of surprise turning into concern, because nobody expected India to move this fast, this far, and this fiercely. The moment India's next-gen tank rolled out, it wasn't just a test run, it was a wake-up call. Nations that once sold their tanks to India are now studying how India built its own and built it better. This is the kind of innovation that shifts balance sheets and strategies all at once. Every update from the Indian defense sector now makes the world sit up straighter and listen closer. This tank has rattled assumptions in every corner of the global defense market. It's fully indigenous, powered by homegrown tech, and armed with intelligence-driven systems that match, even outclass, some of the most expensive Western designs. The message couldn't be clearer. India isn't just catching up, it's competing. Countries that once viewed India as a client now see it as a contender. That's a major change in how power gets defined in the modern world. And let's not forget the ripple effect. When one nation proves it can build such a high-tech, self-reliant machine, it inspires others to do the same. Suddenly, Make in India isn't just a slogan, it's a strategy that's working, and working loudly. You can feel the tension in boardrooms because every new Indian breakthrough means less dependence on traditional arms suppliers and more global competition. This tank isn't just rolling across testing grounds, It's rolling through old expectations. It's reminding the world that innovation isn't owned by any one country. It's earned by those who have the courage to dream and the discipline to deliver. And right now, the world isn't just watching India. It's rethinking its next move. Let me tell you, this tank don't just roll into battle, it arrives. It's got that kind of presence that makes you stop and stare. It's not loud for attention, it's commanding by nature. Every inch of it radiates purpose, pride, and precision. This is more than a war machine. It's a symbol of a nation that's done being underestimated. When you see it move, you see confidence in motion, the confidence of 1 billion people who've worked, built, and dreamed for this moment. India is not trying to prove anything anymore. It's showing what it's capable of. This tank represents a new kind of strength, one that's not borrowed, not bought, but built from the ground up. It's a story of patience meeting power. For years, India watched, learned, and evolved, and now it's leading with quiet authority. Every detail, from the engine that roars like thunder to the armor that can take a beating and keep going, reflects the discipline and ambition behind it. It's not just about looking strong, it's about being unstoppable. What makes this even more powerful is the message it sends. India isn't chasing anyone. It's charting its own course, setting its own standards, and daring anyone to match them. That's what true arrival looks like, not imitation, but creation. The world's used to seeing India as the factory, the service hub, the market. Now they're seeing the innovator, the leader, the powerhouse. When that tank rolls, it's not just the ground that trembles, it's the old perceptions. It's India saying, we're not behind you, we're beside you, and in some ways, ahead. This isn't just steel on tracks, it's pride on display. And when national pride is built into every bolt, every circuit, and every roar of the engine, you know it's not just a vehicle, it's a vision made real.